In today's episode, we welcome Damien onto the RocketPWR Podcast. We first met Damien at the beginning of the year at the European Championships. Since then, Damien has gone on to become a RocketPWR Ambassador. As he stated in his own words, he wanted to hang out with the cool kids. Damien also came second in the RocketPWR At Home Throwdown with a tough battle back and forth on the male side. Damien will also be competing in the RocketPWR team at RocketPWR later on in the year.
Good morning and welcome to the RocketPWR Podcast, the place where all the cool kids hang out. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. Let me start by congratulating you on your second place finish in the RocketPWR At Home Throwdown.
Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate it. It was a good little competition. Kept us motivated, workouts, bad workouts. Kept me busy, kept me entertained.
What was your favourite workout and what was your least favourite workout?
What one was probably my favourite, which was the push-ups and the squats. I think everything after that got pretty gruesome, didn't it? So first one, I thought this is a really test. I think I'm looking forward to the workouts, and after that it just got horrible. But then I had to stick out. I didn't know I had done the first one. So
well, you were up there on
the worst ones probably were. I think that was. Yeah, so I think the worst ones are and 7. I think they ascended ladders. I think there was one of them was burpees and something. One was double unders and jumping lunges and pretty much everything just to destroy your lower body. My 2 worst workouts by a mile.
We spoke every day during the at-home throwdown. I say during at that time we spoke every day. I think we continue to speak every day now. But we were speaking about some of the people's scores that were taking part and how crazy they were getting, the times, the rep schemes. What were you thinking when you were seeing these scores come in?
Well, I think I shared how I was feeling when I saw some of the scores coming in. Some of the scores were just pretty ridiculous.
If you elaborate on some of the conversations without saying names, because we don't want to broadcast how ill we were kind of feeling towards them, but I shared my emotions with you, how Emily and I were feeling about these scores being crazy ridiculous. And that's why we started adding the RX and the scale division, and why we then started asking for video submissions, just because some of the scores and the times were way too crazy.
I think it just got a bit mental, didn't it? I think people it wouldn't surprise me. I know at the bottom, just be honest and just all part of the community, so on and so forth. But I think some of the scores were just mental. It was like they weren't even attempting the workouts. They were just thinking, right, this is my rep range and this is what I'm entering. Well, and that's basically how I'm going to score myself.
With it, once we started saying that we wanted video submissions, Emily and I actually sat through and kind of counted no reps. I've done my online judging course. I'm a head coach at the affiliate local to us. So I know what I'm looking for. But it was a long, tedious time, kind of every evening going through video submissions of like the top 10 athletes. We didn't check so much outside of the top 10 because there was a good prize bundle up for grabs, and we wanted to make sure that the correct person actually got that.
Yeah, I think it had to be done in the end. I think some of the scores just got ridiculous, and I think conversations we had after that showed that videos were probably required for a lot of the workouts, especially when we sat down and worked out a couple of the workouts. As one of the workouts was 100 burpees, and then another one of the workouts was 10 rounds of 10 burpees, 10 pistols. So seeing some of the scores people were getting for that was a bit strange when you saw how long it took them to do 100 burpees.
And are you registered for the challenge series?
I am, but I missed the first couple. Strategically, I missed the run, which is a shame because I was really looking forward to that, as you can imagine. I just saw Louis this morning, which is the handstand press ups, and except that one looks quite good. The gymnastics one with the picking the thing off the floor, I've done that once, but that's more of a drinking game.
Steph's ability challenge.
Yeah, last time I played that was about 5 or 6 years ago, and that was a drinking game at a barbecue. I didn't think that was actually I thought that was just more for fun but
And
yeah, that was one that my hamstrings didn't allow.
So Steph and I both got tagged in a lot of videos for that. And like, I think she was a bit overwhelmed with how many people actually tagged her. And it ended up being a fantastic challenge just because it was so simple. People started getting their children involved in just kind of their
Yeah.
part, even though they weren't involved in the challenge series. It was just quick and easy to get up off the sofa and give it a try.
Yeah, and it was quite fun as well. So it was one of the things. It's not really CrossFit, is it? It's just something that everyone can get involved in and keeps everyone entertained while they're all isolated. So me personally, I wouldn't challenge my partner or daughter to it because my daughter's a dancer for starters, and she can go full splits. So there's no way I was even getting off the furniture to do that. And my partner's a lot more flexible than I am. So it's one of the things I don't even challenge them to it.
That's the same with my partner, Emily. She's hypermobile, so she can just get into all sorts of positions. So as soon as we released it, we kind of got on the floor, gave it a go. I had trouble picking up the first piece of paper. I'm one of these people that when I work out, I need to stretch and mobilize for the good hour before I actually do an air squat and something like that.
Yeah,
So
same.
Emily just got down, put it flat on the ground, and then just picked it up straight away.
Yeah, no, it's not. It wasn't a man's workout, and immobile man's workout anyway.
If you were to program for the challenge series, or you were to program for yourself, what would you like to see come up?
I was quite happy when I saw the one this morning. Actually, that was quite a good, because it gives you 3 different options, doesn't it? So it's not really it's not really an RX scaled workout. It's just you haven't got to put a title to it. It's just you have an option, don't you? You can either do press ups, you can do kipping handstand press ups, or strict handstand press ups. You haven't got to put yourself in a box there. It's just optional for you. So that was something that I would have. Well, we'll look forward to doing. But anything really, I suppose you're quite limited now, aren't we? Just because of equipment and so on and so forth. But
yeah,
similar to what Louis put out this morning, something I'd program for myself, I could imagine. Anything but running.
Do you know what you're going to go with, whether it will be the press-ups, the kipping handstand press-ups, or the strict?
Well, I've got a shoulder impingement in my right shoulder. So I've been kipping quite a lot recently, but anything strict down past sort of parallel on my shoulders, it's absolute agony. So normally when I do kipping, I have to sort of collapse the last inch and a half because my shoulder can't take the pressure from there.
Oh, okay.
So I might see how it's been like that for about 5 or 6 months. It was like that coming into the Euros. So anything strict was always going to be tough. But I'm hoping it's slightly better. So I might warm up thoroughly for a good 3 to 4 hours, like I have to at my age, and then attempt some strict handstand press ups probably.
Have you been doing much mobility or rehab at home during this lockdown?
I've been trying to do more sort of cardio stuff because my rower hasn't arrived yet from Concept, obviously because Concept is shut. So me and my partner Becky have been going out running every morning. So I've been getting up at like 7 and doing like half hour plus just running, stretching. But I'm not very enthusiastic when it comes to running or stretching, if I'm deadly honest. It's more of a couples building thing than a exercise thing.
If for yourself and for the people that are listening at this point, I have thought about what the final challenge is going to be, and it only seems right if we started off the challenge series event 1 with a 5K run, that we would end challenge 8 unless we kind of continue it thereafter because of the lockdown kind of goes on for longer. I was thinking, how far can you run in 1 hour?
That is absolutely horrendous. Put me down as injured for that workout before it started.
Just did not start.
Did not attend. Wasn't there for it. That's a really good idea actually. Well, that is a really good idea, but
I don't know how many people would do it. So if I just walked it, I think I could shoot up into the top 10 just because no one else put a score for it.
That's where I'm going to come of age, the last event, because there's going to be 5 people submitting scores. So I'm literally just going to probably crawl, maybe walk, maybe a slight jog.
Talk about you being a brand ambassador. I mentioned in your intro that we met at the European Championships, and that was at the beginning of the year. After that, you reached out to Rocket Power, and you said in your own words you wanted to be part of the Cool Kids. What stood out to you about Rocket Power, and why did you reach out to us to represent amongst a load of brands that are out there?
Well, obviously we met at the Euros. I didn't meet you personally at the Euros. I met your better half at the Euros. She
definitely is.
She was on the stall at the time. So me and my partner decided that we needed to get jumpers because it's freezing. So we went through all the stalls that were there. So there's obviously a lot of brands there. And we saw yours on the way in, and we was looking for a certain colour, so like a dark greeny kind of camo-y colour. So we went for a few stalls looking, and then obviously we come across yours, come across your other half, and she was very helpful with the sizes as well. It was sort of a no-brainer really. Sort of the clothes are nice, the sort of clothes I wear when I work out. The brown was nice. I was already following you on Instagram before we'd actually seen the stall as well, which apparently from my thing was from a long time ago as well. So obviously I'd known of the brand before that. And then I met Nikos.
Yeah.
I think because he was competing on the same side as me. So I think he was 2 lanes behind me, but in a different heat. And obviously he was wearing a lot of the Rocket Power stuff as well. Stuff that obviously I hadn't seen before, which was a nice athlete gear he had on.
Yeah.
So then obviously I tagged you guys in a few photos of me and my partner because we'd obviously had brought a couple of jumpers from the event. Quite friendly, always there to chat. So that's really why I reached out, because obviously when on the website saw there was obviously still male stuff that I wanted to buy off the website. Thought it was worth just reaching out, having a chat, seeing basically what you guys were about. Really friendly, really chatty. I think that's what stood out really is that it wasn't just business. So that when I reached out, it wasn't just okay, this is the price of this is that, this is when things are coming in. It was just more friendly and more chatty and more, I don't know, it wasn't a customer sort of transaction business, was it? It was more of just a general inappropriate chat throughout.
I think that's where a lot of our customers come from, because we spend time to build the rapport with the customers. Majority of the time, I forget that I'm Rocket Power and I'm supposed to be doing this, this, and this. It ends up, oh my God, like Damien does CrossFit. I think I would rather talk to Damien about CrossFit because that's what really interests me. And like you said, at the Euros, Emily was on the stall. That's because I'm off gallivanting around watching people kind of throw down instead of actually doing what I was there to do. And you will see me at every competition interacting with people in and around the competition area instead of being where I should actually be.
Yeah, no, I don't think I saw you once on the stall. No. You probably left her in the lurch all weekend.
High and dry.
Was going through the transactions. You was gallivanting, taking photos, doing what you want.
I allowed her off the stand sometimes, like 5 minutes every 3 hours.
We did bump into her. Apparently she was doing a food run and a coffee run for you. That was the only time she was out of the stall, she was said.
That sounds
Craig
about
needs
right.
a coffee.
I'm not even going to say you're lying.
I'm exactly the same when I go to these competitions, sort of in between workouts, rather than thinking about workouts and preparing for workouts, because obviously you're a CrossFit fan, sort of that's what you are, aren't you? I sort of sit there and get engulfed in all the other workouts and sit there watching other people and kind of, especially the Euros, some of the people who are at the Euros were just ridiculously elite athletes, and you sort of get a bit sort of distracted by the fact that you're still competing there and you're watching them clean like 170 kilos and making it look so easy, and you kind of sort of, I'm more of a fan sometimes when I go there and remembering that I'm competing myself.
I think it happens with everybody you do, unless you're in the competition to win it. A lot of people will they will go, they'll compete, but then they'll watch their friends, they'll watch other people go, and before you know it, it's your turn to go and warm up, and you've been on your feet for the last 90 minutes, 2 hours, and now you've got to do like a heavy squat or something?
It was the horrible row burpee EMOM.
Yes.
So I hadn't even jumped on a rower. I hadn't decided if I was going to step or jump, or I was going to step into it and jump. I was too busy watching other people, thinking, "Oh, this is horrible. Oh, this is hideous. This is horrible. Okay, heat 2. This is my heat. I need to go out." And before I knew it, I was sitting on a rower, strapping my feet in, thinking, "Okay, right. Well, let's just see what happens then from here."
And
But,
you and
yeah,
Nikos were competing in the intermediate category, weren't you?
Yeah.
Have you thought about
I
going
think
RX, or did you feel that intermediate was kind of the right level for you?
initially when it started, I had concerns over the workouts that were being RX, and so your handstand walking, your handstand press ups, and my concern was qualifying and then not being able to do them, and then being a requirement. That was the problem, and then thinking that if it was a workout of, which is ironic really, because there was handstand walking in the intermediate, and then I couldn't do the handstand walking in that. So it kind of blew up in my face, because one of the workouts was, I think it was Isabel.
Yeah.
Everyone got super excited about Isabel, and then Carlin announced, and then there's handstand walking in between each part, and you thought, oh, great. And if you can't handstand walk, you've got to do dumbbell, I think it was lunges, that was just an inconvenience between the workout. I think it took me 2 rounds to do it, and I'd done it in 2 minutes something, and everyone else was still working out, but everyone was still doing a handstand walking. I felt like a bit of a plum sitting there.
Yeah, that workout was Isabel, 75 snatches 4 times, but wasn't it an EMOM of a 5
Yeah, it was
meter
an EMOM.
walk?
Yeah, and it was in theory I should have just handstand walked, because I could have broke it up like other people broke it up. Obviously, me thinking, because I wouldn't be able to do the whole distance in one. What was the point of doing it? Which is, again, is just me not preparing properly.
Yeah.
Because then when I look back and watch people handstand walk or attempt to handstand walk, I thought, well, be doing lunges because I could do what they was doing. It would have been maybe a little bit more painful, but it would have basically placed me dead last, because I had to scale the movement. So, yeah, no, bit of a pain.
There was someone that finished that workout in less than 60 seconds, so they only had to do 1 handstand walk.
Yeah, there was some monsters there.
You're going to be representing Rocket Power later on in the year at Rep It Out. Rep It Out is a same-sex pairs competition, and we've spoken about competing together. Are you happy that I'm going to be a dead weight for the day, and that you're going to be carrying me all day?
I don't know if happy's the word.
Luckily, it is only 1 day, and it's not 2.
I think I've been put in a situation where I've been held to ransom, and I felt like there was conditions to me going, and it was to take you with me. So I do it with a smile on my face. But if we don't win, I will sulk throughout.
You are absolutely more than welcome to choose your own partner. But
no, it's been absolute privilege
that everyone listening to this podcast will hear you sack me off.
No, it is an absolute privilege. It's an honour. An absolute honour. I can't wait.
I could always get a stand-in. I could get Liam, or I could get Louis.
We'll be taking it far too serious then.
Do you normally compete in a team, or are you mainly an individual competitor?
I like, I prefer doing pairs, trios, teams and stuff like that. I don't mind competing individually. I think I have more fun competing with other people.
Yeah.
Individual, it becomes very, I'm not fantastic at preparing mentally, I think, especially when I compete individually. So I get lost sort of in a day, and I kind of overthink workouts or not think about them at all. Normally when I'm in a team, it's more fun, and they're easier to organise the workouts because you get to share the load as well.
Not only with the actual workouts themselves, but you get to warm up together, you get to compete,
yeah, exactly.
You get to cool down together. As an individual, it's very much you on your own. I've done competitions before, and Emily's come, and Emily then spends a lot of the day on her own. Like I said, I warm up for a good half an hour, then the workout is 12 minutes. Then I cool down for 20 minutes. That's an hour gone that Emily's been on her own. And before you know it, an hour later, I'm going to do exactly the same thing again.
Yeah, no, yeah, I do struggle, to be fair, doing it on my own, because obviously all the go-to my partner comes with me, and it's exactly the same. I'm sort of off warming up, off doodling about, or to be fair, her job while she's there really is just to sort of keep me focused on like go and warm up and how you're going to attack your next workout and excel involved as much as you can, and she pretty much supports it, so I don't have like a complete nervous breakdown and forget what I'm even doing. So that's my present to her, basically.
Does your partner do CrossFit as well?
I'm kind of edging her into it.
So
slowly.
slowly.
She was a absolute no, and I feel like she's gradually warming towards it. But I think if I buy her like a sneaky pair of Metcons or something, she'll be in.
The new Nanos have just been released, and they're pretty snazzy looking.
Well, she said to me the other day, she's the gym in the garage. We went through some stuff last week, and she said, you should probably buy me a pair of CrossFit trainers. And I said, well, are you going to start doing CrossFit? She said, no, but I can wear them to the competitions. I'm like, well, I don't think that's how it works. Yeah. The other said to me about, we started deadlifting quite a sparkly weightlifting belt. So I think in the CrossFit shoes, I think she's in. I think financially I've got her in them.
But during lockdown, you've built yourself quite the home gym setup. How much equipment did you have before, and how much equipment have you added since lockdown? Because it seems that every day you're getting something new.
I think I need nothing to, and then sort of as the lockdown was announced, I think there was a bit of a decision was made from the pair of us that I think for my own sanity we had to buy stuff. So it was Becky that said about buying all the stuff and then just making the home gym just to keep me sane throughout the isolation. So we went on to fitness, got the JST Compete package.
Yep.
Which was concept rower, which hasn't arrived yet because obviously concept is not a problem. The box, 22.5 kilo dumbbell, the bumper plate set, which I think with the bar comes to about 160, 170. I can't remember off the top of my head, about 160, I think. The rig, gymnastics bar that goes on for the pull-ups, etc. Rings come with it. Wall ball, which I haven't actually used yet. Yeah, I don't know why. I just sat there and I thought I don't really want to do any workouts with the wall ball yet. I think one day I'll program one, which I put myself through, but maybe when they're rowing 19.1, I think it was.
Yes. Just
the rowing and the wall balls.
Whack out double Karen.
And yeah, sorry, go on. No, that's not going to be a thing. Maybe I'll do double Karen, and every time I break, do something like a ridiculous 400-meter run or something, just to make it even worse.
Oh, you would be there.
Something like that.
Day.
Yeah, well, it'd be a nice workout, wouldn't it?
But you post a lot of your workouts on Instagram in the pursuit to become an influencer. I will put all of your credentials, as in your Instagram name, down into the show notes.
Lovely.
Has it been hard training regularly at home? As I just said, I've seen you regularly training. Is that a daily occurrence, or do you kind of record one session and then break it up into Instagram posts?
No, it's kind of, obviously, like I said, me and Becky have been out running in the morning, so we try to do that maybe 5 times a week. On a Saturday, we do like an EMOM inside. So whether it be core, like just half-hour core EMOM, or a legs EMOM where we just hammer legs, or conditioning EMOM. So that's separate to what I do. So normally after we do that, I'll go. I'm now obviously got the squat rack. I've been squatting again. So I'll do like a little element of strength work. So whether it be squatting, deadlifts, any kind of push. So whether it's push jerk, push press, staying away from anything strict at the moment. And then I just took loads and loads and loads of workouts and wrote them on the board. So then I'll find something I haven't worked on for ages. So if I haven't overhead squatted in a while, I'll do a workout with overhead squats in.
Yeah.
If I haven't snatched for a while, I'll do something with snatching in. But that's kind of, I try to get in a free-on, one-off kind of process to train hard for kind of like 3 days, maybe like rest for 1 day. Because I could do, in fairness, with it outside, I could do it every day. But some days I go out and there's just no motivation to do it. So I'm just half-assing workouts. So there's no point doing that. You might as well have a rest day and then go hard like the following day.
Would you say that your training looks similar to what it did before lockdown, or has it been toned down slightly?
I think it's been, I don't know, sort of I struggle a bit about any kind of organisation. So if I don't have organisation sort of in general, whether it be outside of CrossFit and etc., like I struggle to get into it. So I'm trying to get some kind of structure to it, because normally I do strength maybe on a Monday, maybe at a Thursday and a Friday, so some kind of strength element, and on a Tuesday I'd do like a massive EMOM, Wednesday would be some horrible conditioning WOD. So I'm trying to sort of get into that routine again, but then when I go out there and look on the board and I see a workout, I think, oh, I'll do that workout now. But this morning's was just random, sort of decided that on the time I was going to do that box jump workout with cleans in it, which was on the board.
Yeah.
Which I hadn't planned to do until I got in there. So yeah, I think I'll put them all on the board and then end up wiping all the ones I want to do off. And then I'm stuck with loads of horrible workouts on there that I need to do. So at the moment, it's kind of organised chaos out there.
You touched a little bit on what your training looked like before. Do you mainly program for yourself? Are you programmed by a coach, or do you just jump in on class workouts at where you train?
It's a mixture really. So a lot of all my strength work is done through my coach at CrossFit Sunbury. So Liam does all the strength work. They programs like really, really good workouts as well, pretty horrible workouts. But before the Euros, I kind of took on in the athlete program.
Yeah.
So based stuff. So I was doing that around in the odd class. Initially, I was on the JST program.
Okay, and are you not on that no more during the lockdown?
Just like it got it. No, it's just I think realistically, like being 35 now, I think my body was getting beaten out. Like so every morning I was woke up on my body paces, that's eating properly, sleeping properly, and just stretching, and it still just like I was being hit by a bus every day.
No,
So
I completely.
my ego sort of took a beating.
Age where I am, I've kind of now settled down onto the competing side, and I much more enjoy the coaching and the science behind why I program instead of beating my body up every single day.
Yeah, no, I know at 35, I know my body. I know what it can take and what it can't. And more injuries seem to creep in when I was on a team program, and I felt like it just pushed my body to the stage where it just wasn't mending. No, obviously nothing to do with their programming. Their programming is ridiculous, but just my body can handle it at this stage, I'm afraid.
No, I think we've pleased our listeners' ears for long enough now. Is there anything that you would like to add on to the podcast?
I forgot we was even doing a podcast, to be fair. We were just gossiping for a bit.
It's just chatting all the way. That's the easiest way. We've been talking for 35 minutes.
People are going to start talking about us.
I know, right? Especially the messages I've been sending you the last couple of days.
Podcast, especially yesterday. I think that would have happened.
A lot of men would like to receive that from myself.
Again, it's a lifestyle choice, and I think I've really thought about it until I've received that. No, nothing to add to the podcast. That's been awesome, to be fair.
Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you for coming. hopefully we should catch you on the podcast again very soon when we've got a bit more to talk about, and we shall see you on the flip side.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Stay safe, buddy.